Hi guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is the Three Muskateers tag. Now, I was tagged in this a while ago by the lovely Alice from Alice and a Giant Bookshelf and Amy from BookTube with Amy. It was created by the lovely Becky from Teacup the Storyteller, and I will link her video for it down below. I will find it and I will link it because I like it. It is important to link the original one. Now, my slight problem with this is that I don't actually have the book. I don't own it, although I am currently, at the time of filming this, nagging my charity shop compadres to, I think they had it, and I was like, I've been thinking about it, can you put it by? So fingers crossed I will have it soon. Here we go. Here's the prompts. They're very long answers, so that's why there is no, I'll write the prompts. You'll find it all on the original video. I'm not like that. Right, here we go. Bear with me. Alexandre Dumas was born in the 19th century. Do you have a favourite time period to read about? If yes, what do you like about it? I've written one answer, and I think I'm going to give two. So for my first one is obviously always going to be the Tudor time period, because I am fascinated by that. I think it's an amazing time period. I think it's very interesting. There is so much speculation around it, and a lot of the books written about it are speculation because they didn't have any ways of writing diaries, so you can get loads of different information and loads of different images, and we don't know all the information, and it's just, I don't know, it's really fascinating. It's a time period that I know the most about because obviously it's one that I've studied at school, it's one that I've studied and read a lot about since BookTube, and I am like crossing fingers. I just love it. I really love it. But the other time period obviously has to be the Victorian time period, because so many amazing authors wrote in that time. Some of my favourite classics were written in that time. Most of my favourite authors were from that time, so I'd love to go back and meet them. I'd love to see them. It's so interesting. It's just, the literature just exploded in that time period. And obviously being a literature lover, maybe I should have said that as my answer then. Oh well, you got two answers, you know me. The next one, Alexandre Dumas was born in France. Is there a French author whose book you'd recommend? Kind of not read any French authors, but I have got one. I've got The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I've got his other book, The Count of Monte Cristo, because I saw it in a charity shop and I went, I'm gonna get it. I've also got The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo, and that's another book that's on my shelf and I want to read. So I've got no excuses. I need to get to a French literature book soon. Someone remind me. If anyone wants to buddy read either of those two books with me, let me know in the comments below, and that may be a push to kind of get me to do it. Although Count of Monte Cristo probably might be safe for next year. Next one is, I have, by the way, I'm not saying these in order because I've realised I've kind of jumbled them up a bit. Sorry, Becky. Alexandre Dumas wrote some pretty chunky books. For example, The Count of Monte Cristo, which is over 1,000 pages. My edition's not, but, well, okay, that's fine. As opposed to his son, Alexandre Dumas Jr., whose only book, Lady of the Camales, is less than 180 pages. What is the longest and shortest book you've read? I believe the longest book I've read is War and Peace. I'm not sure. I'm pretty darn sure that is the longest book I've read. And the shortest book I've read was Sea Prayer by Khalid Hosseini, which is a poetry book, and that was only like 49 pages. So that's my answer to that. The next one. Alexandre Dumas often based his books on real life events and historical real events and historical fiction, and people from historical fiction. Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. Is there a person from the past, artist, politician, or anyone you'd like to meet? Hell yeah, Elizabeth Gaskell, because I have a double reason for that, in the fact that she knew Charlotte Bronte and Emily Bronte. She knew the Brontes. She wrote amazing literature. She wrote so many books. She was also a mother of quite a few children. She lived in an industrial town in Manchester where my favourite band, Take That, were from. So I would love to meet her. I'd love to learn more about that area of the country in that time, about the industrial side of it, what inspired her to write her books. Did she base any of her books around the Brontes that were her friends? There are so many things I could talk to her about. And I think because she lived a longer life, obviously she was cut back in when she was writing this, but she's an inspiration. She is one of my favourite authors, and I just can't wait to reread her books because I just think they're... And also, like I said, she's connected to the Brontes, which are like my favourite historical family writers. You know, I just... Eek! Right, let's go. Now I'm going over the page now. Okay, this is the one that's going to make you laugh. So I've just kind of got to get to that page, get to the book for that answer. I don't think there is a video where I don't mention my favourite book, The Three Musketeers. Is there any book you want everyone to know about, your favourite of all time reads, or a recent read you would recommend? Let's be honest, my favourite book ever has got to be Wuthering Heights. And I absolutely love it. I really, really, really love it. And it's one I'm so excited about. And just, yes, I want everyone to know about it. It is one of the best books of all time. I love it. It's dark, it's mysterious, it's exciting, it's amazing. And I just, yay, I just can't wait. I just love it so much. So it's not like one I don't talk about a load. Need another prompt. Next one is one of the most famous quotes in literature, all for one and one for all, came from the pen of Alexandre Dumas. Do you keep a track of your favourite quotes when reading? Do you have a quote to share? Which book did it come from? I don't, and I need to, because I realised there is a book. There is a quote from Katie, What Katie Did, which is a book I read this month, and I should have kept it, and I should have written it down. My sister Charlie gave me a book to write it down in. I've written some quotes down in it, but I haven't enough, and I need to get off my backside and do it. But there is a quote that I've got that's on my jumper that I got for my birthday last year, which is from one of my favourite books of all times. I am no bird and no net ensnares me, which is from Jane Eyre. And I think that is not just a beautiful quote, because it is. I'm certainly no bird and no one can try and ensnare me. I am such a free spirit. I like to do my own thing. I like being free. If you try and tell me what to do, I will tell you to beep off, because I do not like being led. I'm not a great person. It's a bit of the rebel side of me, I think. I'm definitely a rebel. And so I think Jane Eyre was like, she likes to be free, and that's what I'm like. And when my chronic pain stops me from being like that, it gets me on my giblets. So, yeah, that's a brilliant quote. Love it, love it, love it. But I do need to start writing my quotes down. The next one, number 7, according to my thing. The Three Musketeers is a book with strong friendships and allegiance. Do you have a favourite female friendship? Yes, because it's one of my series, and that is the girls in The Woolworths Girls. There are 3 girls in this. There is Sarah and her 2 friends, Maisie and Frida, and they are in they start off in this book, and they're in the whole series, and I believe there's a sequel coming up with their daughters' friendships, which is going to be released tomorrow, or the day after I'm filming this. But this is about beautiful friendships. A lot of friendships that were formed in the time of the World War II were ones that had to be endured, because they were all going through a lot of things, and they were struggling, and they had to stick together. They support. Found friendship was another thing. It was so important. So this friendship group in this book is just incredible, and I've loved watching it. I've loved reading the whole series, because that friendship group goes and they really develop, and they stick together, and they be there for each other through thick and thin. They may have their fights, they may scream and shout at each other, but they really stick by each other, and I loved it. So that to me is one of the strongest friendships. It's just absolutely amazing. The next one. The Three Musketeers is a story with strong female characters who are brave, fearless, yet gentle and loving. However, some prove to be true evil. Do you have a favourite female fictional character? Who is it and why? You're probably going to be able to guess this. But it's Harper from A Curse of Dark and Lonely. And the reason why I love her is twofold. One is that she stands up for her beliefs. She kind of gets a bit weaker in the latter series a little bit, but in this one, she's got a disability, and she does not let her disability define her. And for me, it really rings true, and it's been inspirational. She hasn't had an easy life, and she's a fictional character. She goes into the fictional world with Prince Rian, who is like Beauty and the Beast, effectively. It's Beauty and the Beast retelling. But she really doesn't stand for any crap in this book. She really fights for herself. She fights for the man she falls in love with. There is a bit of interesting things in it, but her strength and her determination rings so true, and I absolutely thoroughly love her. The next one. There are more than 50 film adaptations of The Three Musketeers. Is there a film adaptation you enjoyed more than the book? It doesn't have to be one of Dumas's books, just a book you read and a film adaptation. And this is very close because I don't really watch many film adaptations of books. But this is a book that I found in a charity shop, and it's P.S. I Love You, the film. And the film actually made me cry more than the book did. And I love the book. I love Cecilia Ahern's work. I think she's amazing. But this film flipping killed me. I cried so much in it. And it brought out all the emotions. And I think I cried more in this than I did in the actual book, which is really telling you something, because quite emotional. So that's the only one answer for that. And we're nearly there. I own 3 different editions of the Three Muskateers. Is there a book you own more than one edition of? Well, I'll show you a different one. And this is one that you're going to see before my book haul. And that is The Tenant of Wildbow Hall, because I've got this edition, which is beautiful. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous edition. And I love it, love it, love it. And I've also got, Chris bought me my own copy of the cloth-bound classics edition. And if I find another edition that I like, I'll have 3 editions. The Tenant of Wildbow Hall. It is probably my 3rd favourite Bronte book, and I bloody love it. And look how gorgeous this cloth-bound classic is. It's stunning. And obviously the other one is my favourite book of all time, Wuthering Heights. That one. Because I like the Woolworths Classics editions. I will always collect, they're the ones I collect in general. And this is the cloth-bound classic. So that's another collection that if I get spoilt, I will collect. So these are 2 of them, the ones that I've got the most of. It'll be fun putting them back on the shelf soon. And lastly, have you read The Three Musketeers or any book by Jim Ass? If yes, which one? So obviously I've just said in the start of this video, I've not read any. I want to read The Three Musketeers. So I'm going to get you guys to tell me, when I buy The Three Musketeers, which I'll hopefully be buying it soon, do I read that first or do I read The Count of Monte Cristo first? That's my question for you guys. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, not subscribed yet, bring on my ding-a-ling. At the time of filming, I'm 2 subscribers away from my 900, so I'm crossing everything, crossing fingers and toes. So I hope you like this. I will link everything down below. Oh, and also lastly, it's to tag people. I forgot to tag people. I'm tagging Ange from Angie's Book Chatter. I think she might have already been tagged, but hey-ho. Tori from Hufflepuff Discovery, and Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures. I'll tag you all. And if there's anyone else that wants to do it, tell me. And I think most people have done it already, but there you go. Anyway, take care, guys. Bye-bye.